When you look up at the stars, what do you think about? That we maybe not be alone. How vast it is. The fact is we don't know all the answers about it. There's a lot to wonder about space. This selection of some of the most mind-boggling facts about our cosmos takes a bite-sized look at our intriguing planet, moon, solar system, galaxy and universe. 1 teaspoon of neutron star weighs the same as the human population. A neutron star's density is mind-boggling. These stars are composed almost entirely of neutrons packed together in a tiny radius. Just a teaspoonful of this material would weigh over 1 trillion kilograms, more than the weight of the entire human population, which reaches a few 100 billion kilograms. To make something as dense as a neutron star, the whole of humanity would need to be crammed into a space the size of a sugar cube. There may be a planet made out of diamonds. As space facts go, this is pretty impressive. Research by Yale University scientists suggests that a rocky planet called 55 Cancri. It is twice the size of Earth and has a mass 8 times greater. It may have a surface made up of graphite and diamond. It's 40 light-years away but visible to the naked eye in the constellation of Cancer. Do you know the moon is lemon-shaped? Despite its appearance in the night sky, our natural satellite is nowhere near round. In fact, the moon is shaped like a lemon, with flattened poles and bulges on both the near and far side around its equator. This strange shape is thought to have been created due to its own spin and during interactions with Earth soon after its formation. Milky Way smells of rum, raspberries, and booze. In 2009, astronomers exploring a giant cloud of gas and dust at the center of the Milky Way made a surprise discovery. The cloud was packed full of a chemical known as ethyl formate, which has a couple of intriguing properties. It is responsible for giving raspberries their flavor, and has the smell of rum. Another nearby region is also notable as it's full of ethyl alcohol, or ethanol, the type we use to make alcoholic beverages. It contains enough alcohol to supply every person on the planet with 300,000 pints of beer per day for the next billion years. The cloud also contains plenty of other nasty chemicals, among them carbon monoxide and hydrogen cyanide. It would still leave you with quite a headache the next morning. Do you know what is cold welding? If two pieces of the same type of metal touch in space, they will bond and be permanently stuck together. This amazing effect is called cold welding. It happens because the atoms of the individual pieces of metal have no way of knowing that they are different pieces of metal, so the lumps join together. This wouldn't happen on Earth because there is air and water separating the pieces. The effect has a lot of implications for spacecraft construction, and the future of metal-based construction in vacuums. 1 day on Venus is longer than 1 year on Earth. Venus has an extremely slow axis rotation, that takes about 243 Earth days to complete one full cycle. Funny enough, it takes Venus even less time in Earth days in order to complete one revolution around the Sun, 226 to be exact. Furthermore, the Sun rises every 117 Earth days, which means that the Sun will rise only 2 times during each year, which is also all technically in the same day. Since Venus also rotates clockwise, the Sun will rise in the west and set in the east. More energy from the Sun hits Earth every hour than the planet uses in a year. The 70% of solar energy the Earth absorbs per year equals roughly 3.85 million exajoules. In other words, the amount of solar energy hitting the Earth in 1 hour is more than enough to power the world for 1 year. The use of solar energy has increased at a rate of 20% each year for the past 15 years. Solar PV accounted for 4.5% of total global electricity generation, and it remains the third largest renewable electricity technology behind hydropower and wind. China was responsible for about 38% of solar PV generation growth in 2022, thanks to large capacity additions in 2021 and 2022. You could survive for a couple of minutes in space with a leaky spacesuit. After 10 seconds, you would lose consciousness. The lower pressure of the vacuum would cause your blood to boil, along with other body fluids, for example, the moisture on your tongue. But this boiling alone would not be fatal due to the pressure maintained by our blood vessels themselves. Gas bubbles would form in your bodily fluids, causing your body to swell up and bloat. The low humidity of space would cause you to cool down rapidly, and your eyes may freeze over. Within 1 to 2 minutes, the lack of oxygen would be deadly. A rapid decompression would cause damage to your lungs, eardrums and sinuses, along with bruising and bleeding from soft tissues. The Sun loses 1 billion kilos per second. Particles in the Sun's upper atmosphere are so hot and energetic that they speed out into space as part of the solar wind. Our star sheds around 1.3 trillion particles every second. This equates to roughly 1 billion kilograms of matter per second, or 1 Earth every 185 million years. Vast amounts of water have been found in space, so Earth's oceans may not be that unique. 3 of Jupiter's moons, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, and 2 of Saturn's, Enceladus and Titan, are thought to have underwater seas. Europa's ocean may contain over twice the volume of water found on Earth. However, the most water ever discovered surrounds a black hole some 12 billion light-years away. This region contains vast amounts of water vapor, the equivalent of 140 trillion times the volume of water in Earth's oceans.